Hello, everyone. This is George Veronis. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm an organizational director with the Bemer Corporation. And I appreciate everybody taking time to listen to our presentation for the next 30 to 40 minutes. You're going to get a phenomenal amount of information, take down notes, write down questions. When we're finished, you can get back to the person that put you on this line, and they'll answer all your questions for you and move you to the next step. Briefly, I'll tell you, 2 years ago, I had open heart surgery. I ended up having 8 bypasses, and I was lucky I didn't have a major heart attack. And several years later, I started getting pain again from 2 bypasses collapsing. I heard about this Bemer technology, especially for the energy. I was feeling tired, sleeping all the time, and I got the Bemer. In a couple of weeks, I had an amazing amount of energy, felt great, and I decided to share it with people around the country. And now I've been across the world, let's say, from Germany to Mexico to Canada to California to Pennsylvania, sharing this story with everybody. So you're going to hear a lot of information. I appreciate you being on there. But tonight we have a special guest speaker this evening. His name's Yousef Benlousif, and he's from Chicago, and he's actually a co-founder of Tobias Healing Institute. It's a 17-year-old holistic medical practice. And Yousef and his partner specialize in chronic diseases. He partnered up with Dr. Tobias, who's a medical doctor and internist, and they've been using Bemer now for over a year and a half with amazing results. So Yousef did a lot of research. He's phenomenal in sharing both the science and the product itself. So we're going to have him go through the next 30 minutes, give you a good brief on what this is all about. Then I'll come back on to wrap it up at the end. So thank you for your time. Yousef, I'll turn it to you, and thanks for coming on with us.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, George. Good evening to all of you. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here, sharing with you the Bemer technology. And boy, what a technology, what a story, what an amazing device. And this, as George mentioned, Tobias Healing Institute, my story with Bemer started actually about 16 months ago. And of course, after you research it, you purchase the Bemer, you want to really kick the tire, so to speak, and put it to test. And we start doing it with our patients. There are existing patients that are coming to our clinic for health recovery. We specialize in chronic degenerative diseases and many illnesses and so on. But I won't bore you with the details other than to tell you that to my biggest and my partner, Dr. Tobias, surprise is that we have hastened the recovery of these patients. And we have not changed absolutely nothing to all our modalities, our therapies. The only thing we added is Bemer device as an adjunctive therapy within the context of our clinic. And that, needless to say, that discovery, that big aha moment, have excited us, me and my partner, Dr. Tobias. We said the world needs to know about it. And we did exactly that. Because obviously when you find out, those of you who are guests here for the first time, sitting with us in front of this message, and first of all, I appreciate the time that you've taken this evening from your time, wherever you know you are calling from or you're watching this webinar from. Really appreciate you. And I paid close attention for those people who know me. I respect other people's time. And so we're bringing you this as a value add. Value add to what exactly? To our understanding that this technology is, the world needs to know about it. Because as you find out very quickly, it's a very simple, holistic device, but speaks volume in terms of helping the body put itself together just as if it was magic. Yes, magic indeed. At times, you know, I might sound boastful, but here's the crazy thing about it. I'm not exaggerating one iota. And every single word in this presentation is quite measured and responsible. And what's nice, we can back it up with numerous studies and publications. So let's get into it. Change your life, for you, for life, for energy. And so a little bit of a summary in here. Bemer is a revolutionary technology. It's as simple as that. It's a bioenergy device because it's going to use biophysics. It's going to use vibrational energy to help out the body upregulate itself. And without a doubt, it is a disruptive technology. And so this is just on the onset of the presentation, going to give you a little bit of an agenda. about what this technology and what's going on around it. We have over 1 million+ users. Certainly this warms up my heart when I heard that about a few months ago, to show you that Bemer, it is not an experiment. It is a true and tried technology, and many, many, many million+ are really enjoying the every single day benefit that this technology can afford them from the standpoint of health, balance, regeneration of the body, and homeostasis, a state of balance and health. 4,000+ hospitals, clinics, institutions, most of them in Europe, are already part of the Bemer project. It's not unusual to find Bemer around hospitals. As a matter of fact, some of the hospitals in Europe, they use Bemer as a neonatal intensive care unit. Imagine that, great application, right? Around preemies, premature babies, born with undeveloped lungs, they put the Bemer right in the incubator. So this is to show you that is a bona fide technology, but also a quantifiable technology with a huge empirical studies background to sustain all the benefit for these institutions. We also top athletes, you'll find out they're very much interested in Bemer for all the reasons I'm going to share with you later on. We have 5 international layered patents. These are one of the toughest patents you could have in any technology, let alone biomedical technology. We have a collaboration with NASA. We have an agreement, actually, joint cooperation agreement with NASA. And folks, to me, spells out validation. It's the feather on our cap. And it's an exciting collaboration. And there is no telling what that venture, that side venture, Bemer, Germany, and NASA, where it will lead us and it will take us. We are an FDA registered device, and we have many, numerous published medical papers that you can readily find on pubmed.gov. So let's talk a little bit about the problem first. Obviously, the solution is exciting, but solution becomes more exciting if the problem is big, is huge. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the solution, you would think, and that's exactly that. So from a nation standpoint, at least in the US, if not worldwide, we know that we are not doing too well in wellness. It's crisis this and crisis that. And as you could see, major magazines and major newspaper and media and so on will certifiably will concur and come back to the same thing. The numbers are not good, guys. Our health in terms of wellness as a nation is not the greatest out there. We have diabetes that turning into a pandemic on our hand in here. Cancer is out of control. This is just to name a few, cardiovascular disease and so on and so forth. So we are not doing well. Maybe there are reasons that explains that, and we can shed some light around why aren't we doing well. Because obviously, if you read this book by Melody Patterson, Our Daily Meds, it's a fascinating read. And by that, I mean, it's one of those responsible books that is very well referenced. It's not one of these books that anybody can have a book seemingly nowadays, right? But this book has a lot of references, hardcore references, the type that you can find statements by the World Health Organization that are outlining and pointing out America is classified not even top 40 nation in health and wellness comparatively to a study of 100 developed nations. So something is grabbing the attention of a lot of people. Some of these issues, as a matter of fact, ought to be of a national security concern. Washington really should pay attention to, for example, where diabetes is going. Today, adult onset diabetes, as an example, type 2 diabetes, diabetes mellitus. Today, juveniles like age 12 and so on are full-blown diabetic. And that is a concern, because diabetes, obviously, it's a horrible disease that will claim your life little by little by little by little. So as a nation, we need to pay attention to that. But more importantly, there's an excerpt in this book. It says that Americans, we spend more on medicine than do all of the people of Japan, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina combined. And that combined, guess what? last year, our healthcare costs or a healthcare tag was at the tune of 3.7 trillion. Trillion with a T. So one must assume if we spend in that kind of money, one must assume that we are doing very well health-wise. And actually, this is very far from the truth. We are a sick nation. I'm sorry, I cannot find any other word to describe that. We're not doing well. We are fatigued and we have massive problems, and some of them are massive and major chronic degenerative diseases. So this is a simple math. If we are spending that kind of money, but our health is not good, where is the money? Okay, it's like the old expression, where is the beef? So what are you spending money on? Well, everyone can have an intelligent guess where that money is spent, but certainly we as people in America, we're not getting our worth in terms of wellness. So therefore the solution, it's a welcome solution. And that solution clearly is Bemer technology, a very bright, revolutionary, disruptive technology. Because as you can find out later on, how Bemer does actually works and affect the body is without a doubt a disruptive technology. It's a category creator, as a matter of fact. We'll find out later on. So, but it is a new paradigm. Why is it a new paradigm? Because we're not asking people now to go to doctor, get more meds, or get more supplements, or vitamins, or IV therapy, or modality, or detoxification program, or all the stuff that we are accustomed to, but getting nowhere. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Just ask yourself, you the listener. Just ask your neighbors, ask your relatives, ask your friends, ask your family. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's not unusual in my clinic to find patients that's what's so-called polypharmacy. People who are taking 15, 16, 18, 20 drugs, hard, molecules that to try to get exactly what they're looking for. And this is absolutely outrageous because the results oftentimes are not. And there are reasons that explains that, okay? But there's revolutionary disruptive technology. As you're looking at it in all its glory in this slide, that's the Bemer technology. A computer box, a mat, few applicators. But once you get to use them, then the story, the exciting story, start to unveil, start to unroll in here, and start to really unfold throughout community by community, household by household. And that's the experience for the past 16 months. But check this out. Here is the first thing that really excited me when I was doing my due diligence. How do you use the Bemer? 8 minutes twice a day, you lay down like that lady right there on what's so-called the B body or the mat. Not the chair, just that gray piece of mat with a computer box. Can you imagine that? 8 minutes twice a day. Like a good friend of mine, he says that we ask in America to lay down 8 minutes twice a day. It cannot get any easier than that. I mean, if this was difficult to lay down 8 minutes twice a day, then sorry, you better find another solution in another planet, because there is no way you're going to find something simpler than that. Totally innocuous, totally non-invasive. I can teach grandma to push a button, lay down 8 minutes in the morning, and then carry on with her daily routine. And then before she retires at night for the night, push another 8 minutes, push the button and 8 minutes. So this is absolutely phenomenal. And it's really zero side effect. You could see it's safe for elder, but it's safe for children. What a beautiful thing. A device that is holistic, that becomes part of your new lifestyle as you shift your paradigm. As if one will brush teeth every morning, as one will drink fresh water and drink and eat good food to nourish the body, you include now Bemer as part of your everyday regimen. It's part of our diet, it's part of a lifestyle. And what are the benefits you expect by doing that? And for starter, and just a very simple snapshot at it, first you're going to experience a huge general blood flow, which we'll talk about in a second, because the beauty of this technology, the ingenuity behind this technology, it correlates directly, and it relates and it'll interface directly with the blood flow. Then you have nutrition and oxygen supply, and we're talking at the cellular level, cardiac function, better sleep management, waste disposal, elimination of the toxins, in other words, physical fitness, endurance, concentration, mental acuity, stress reduction and relaxation. I mean, I'm a buyer on any one of these items alone, let alone the whole entire slew. I know for a fact sleep management is a huge problem in America as we live in a very stressful environment and stressful lifestyle. And so fatigue, for example, is the #1 complaint in doctors' offices. Interesting enough, in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, they view fatigue as something like an illness. And now that we know that there is problem with silent inflammation, and the operative word here is silent, you know, before you know it, you could start something brewing inside of you, and before you know it, you'll find out, but that cases is too little, too late. That's why you hear some of these perfect, healthy athletes, they drop dead, surprising everybody around us with a sudden heart attack. Because that silent inflammation that was asymptomatic, no symptoms. And so when people, you know, say nowadays, I am healthy, I immediately ask them, says who? No one can make that statement. Not even me, that I'm very, very healthy person, because of the potential of those silent inflammation. So Bemer is going to help out, regulate some of these mechanisms to help the body heal and regenerate itself. Interesting enough, the field of holistic naturopathic medicine is the field of my love. And Thomas Edison, I appreciate that statement that was uttered by him about over a century ago. And he says, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patient in the care of the human frame, in diet, and the cause and prevention of disease. Well, clearly there's a departure nowadays. Doctors, traditional Western-based medicine is no longer doing that. Now it's just, you know, attending to the symptoms. And then after CAT scan and MRI and test this and test that, let's go to that poison, let's go to that radiation, let's go to that surgery. Or worse yet, let's go to the designer lifestyle maintenance drugs. The statins, for example, is one of the examples. The body does not need statins for sure. It needs paying attention to diet and environment. See, our health outcome is based on 3 factors: our genetic predisposition, our lifestyle, and environment. Here's the good news. Our genetic predisposition accounts only of 20% of health outcome. Like myself, I'm not a diabetic. I should be diabetic. I'm genetically predisposed, but I'm not diabetic because I pay attention to diet and lifestyle. And now with Bemer, then I can avoid completely, 100%, as my brother became diabetic. I'm not diabetic. So this is very exciting. So the future currency of life, folks, is the bioenergy medicine. That's an exciting new era. See, Bemer single-handedly is ushering a brand new era called the bioenergy medicine, using biophysics to attend to the body, because the body is electric first, chemical second. Well, guess what? Speaking the wave of the future, I don't know if you caught the news or not. Reuters told us that August 1st, this last month, Google parent and GlaxoSmithKline are creating a $750 million bioelectronics firm. Is that crazy? That's what Bemer is. And here's the highlighted portion. Bioelectronics to research what? Develop and commercialize the next generation treatments involving the use of electrical signals to cure diseases. And I'll say to that, yeah, Bemer first. We are ushering that brand new era. And I'll give it a new coined term. As we went over the years through pharmaceuticals, 50 years ago, we went to nutrition with pharmaceutical grade called nutraceuticals. Today, we call it electroceuticals. Okay? Because we're going to use energy, electricity, to man or to attend to some kind of relationship between energy, biophysics, as energy is all around Mother Earth, all around us, and to take advantage, obviously, of it. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. And I want you to, especially the person that has been invited, the brand new guest, listening to the message for the first time, you can appreciate that there is nothing to ingest. There is no pill, no nutrition, no vitamins, no drugs, no IVs, nothing. In the confinement of your own home, you just lay down on this. And that is a huge, and that's why it's a category creator. It's so powerful that many manufacturers decided to imitate us, right? But were never able to duplicate us. And that's very amazing. So a new approach to health and wellness, without a doubt. It's an FDA registered medical device. I mentioned that. 5 international patents and many health and hospital institutions and universities actually are involved in our project. So what is it exactly? It is a device that is based on that subtle energy field. A wave will come through that mat or the bee body, and then will encompass your whole entire body. And then with a very gentle energy, we're talking about a flux intensity of 10 to 30 hertz or 3.5 to 35 microtesla, very gentle. The same energy that is coming from the geomagnetic field from Mother Earth. So we already used to that. And by the way, it's very beneficial to us and to animals and to insects and to any living organism on Earth. And so as you lay down there, this device that throwing in this kind of energy, this envelope that comes around us, it's imperceptible to us from a cognition standpoint. We cannot feel it, we cannot taste it, we cannot hear it, we cannot see it. But it's there, and once it takes over the body, and the body start responding. But first, let's go back to the principle, the iceberg principle, to really appreciate what the human body is all about. We all heard of the iceberg principle before in many analogies, right? What we do not see is what matters. That 95% submerged in the case of the body, when you see on top is only, at the surface, is only the symptoms. When you're stressed out, you become restless, you have some discomfort, you become unfocused, confused perhaps, low energy, lethargy, and so on. And your mind is saying what? I think I'm coming down with something, or I think I'm sick. Because when the symptoms start nagging, then you go see a healthcare practitioner, and then they're going to start to attend to those symptoms. But in reality, what they should attend to is really to the root cause. Because to all symptoms, there is a root cause. The health of the body is based on the body, mind, and spirit. And body, mind, and spirit is extremely important, but that could be for another conversation. But when it comes to the human body, understand we are an organism of multicellular entity, right? We have over 100 trillion cells. The cells make the tissue make the organs make the systems, and the systems make the human body. So if you want to eliminate all the symptoms, you need to attend to the cell. But guess what the cell needs? The cell needs, oxygen. It needs nutrients. It needs elimination of wastes and toxins. It needs a better cardiac function. And it needs an increase in irrigation of blood, because life is blood. So as you could see in here, it's very important to understand that at the base of everything, whether you're healthy or unhealthy, doesn't make any difference. It will be a question, where do you sit on that seesaw of homeostasis based on how much is your supply of oxygen, nutrients, elimination of wastes, cardiac function, and irrigation of all the vessels of the circulatory system. Because as a fundamental, or that's the most primordial or basic, if you do not have that, then it's just a matter of time before your cell will complain and you get that so-called cascading effect. So out of 11 systems that the body has, the most important one is what? The circulatory system. Because you cannot make any tissue. You cannot make bone without blood. You cannot make hormones without blood. So it makes sense. Life is in the blood. The path to wellness, or the path to disease and illness, is the quality, the integrity of this circulatory system. That's going to bathe 100 trillion cells with the most important fluid ever, carrier of nutrition and oxygen, and responsible of the cleansing of those cells. And it's all done with the capillaries, which is the microcirculatory system. And just a little bit of anatomy in here. This river of life, this is as important as we know it, because if that gets obstructed, then it's just a matter of time for getting, our affairs in order, and some people would never get even a chance to make their affairs in order. So arteries and veins, these are the macro circulation. They carry the big pipes, right? 26% of our circulatory. But interesting enough, 3/4 of that whole important system, this river of life, this path to wellness, it is comprised with micro vessels, the so-called capillaries. And if you tie them up end on end, they will measure a distance of 74,000 miles. Imagine that. This is crazy. I don't know if I'm the only one getting excited about it, but I can put all my capillaries from my body around, attached end to end, around Mother Earth's circumference 3 times. Since Mother Earth is 25,000 miles circumference. Imagine, all that inside the body. But those are very important to understand, because at the crux of understanding this very simple mechanic, you will appreciate, you will honor, and you really get to rev for that Bemer technology. Bemer is going to affect the very same thing that you see on this slide, the supply and disposal. So here's the capillary. From the arteries came the good stuff, right? The oxygen, nutrition, to go inside the cell, so the cell does its own business to replicate DNA and chromosomes and all that good stuff, right? The essence of life, in other words, the essence of what makes us. And then when it finishes, the cell is going to create an exchange, a gas exchange, but it's going to create toxins. What do we call metabolic end product? Metabolic waste. See, we poop physically through the colon and through the anus, but what we don't sit down and think about it, every single minute of our awakened life, throughout our life, every single cell in our body poops. Imagine, we have 100 trillion poops a day. And in the holistic field, eliminating the toxins and all the waste is more important than nourishing those cells. And it's great to see that we have already that regulatory mechanism. So through the venous system, out of the vein, we're going to eliminate all that junk. And that process is done every single minute, complete circuit in our body. But the heart cannot do it all itself. There are other mechanisms that are involved. And this mechanism is that what that energy is going to excite, is going to affect, so the blood starts moving freely, so these capillaries become perfused, in other words, irrigated. It's like if you have a garden in a backyard and you have a bunch of plants on a summer day, you better give them some water, right? So you reach in for the hose, which is the capillary, you turn on the faucet, you know that you have water coming into the house, but the water doesn't come on the other side because maybe there is a kink in a garden hose. So in the same thing in here, you could see the problem that they start developing. When you get those little kinks, or the system, the capillary bed becomes out of focus, out of tune, easy to do, right? I mean, they measure 10 microns in diameter. That's a fraction of a human hair in diameter. And so the cells start clumping up together, stacking up together, like a stack of coin, a process called rouleau formation. And before you know it, you're going to have the cells is no longer living properly. And that's the beginning of pathology, disease, illness, and so on. I'm going to show you a little movie courtesy of the Berlin Microcirculation Institute that shows you exactly the difference between poor circulation and good circulation. And poor circulation, when we become 35, 40 years of age and older, even healthy, we're going to experience that. That's why most diseases come when we get older. So here's poor blood flow. Look at to your left. Imagine that capillary bed is going to your eye, to your adrenals, to your brain. Pick a spot, I don't care where. Versus a good capillary, look at that good blood flow. So needless to say, a picture is 1,000 words, a video must be 1,000,000 words, right? You could see, and again, here for comparison, a poor circulatory system creates trouble. Nothing is moving. Everything is sludging, is stuck together. Good, significantly improved circulation. So when your circulation become good and significantly improved, it's just a matter of time before your body start healing. Because now the body has everything that it needs. The perfect doctor in the world is the human body. And coming from the scientists behind Bemer, Dr. Rainier Klopp, a doctor, physicist, engineer, inventor, and he is the most authoritative figure with his Bible of microcirculation and his institute. He says that Bemer is the most effective and widely researched physical therapy method available today. Take that to the bank. But also, it's not just a statement. We have numerous scientific, double-blind clinical study, empirical research that is published, peer-to-peer reviewed, that can bring about the claim that we are making. And here comes NASA. And NASA and Bemer joint collaboration became really a godsend, because that's a validation to us. And NASA was very much interested for their astronauts when they go in space exploration and they go to microgravity, they come back sick. Muscle atrophy, bone loss, circadian rhythms out of whack, all their hemodynamics, all their fluidity, all totally out of whack. They have to endure a 9 to 12 months advanced rigorous physiotherapy. And so NASA for 3 years had an eye on this type of biophysics, and then they came to us and they entered into that Bemer joint collaboration agreement. And that's very exciting. They signed an agreement with us March of last year. Very exciting stuff indeed. And, you know, who are we to talk about Bemer signal and technology if that was not NASA to quantify it for us? After all, they're the rocket scientists, right? So Bemer, speaking of signal, Bemer is going to use already energy all around us, the so-called oscillatory energy, the so-called waves, the so-called vibrational information, because from a quantum physics standpoint, we are nothing more but electrons that are oscillating at a certain rate. And scientists are going to take the most basic wave and they're going to create these, the so-called designer waves. That's how we get trapezoidal, triangular, and sawtooth to create some kind of a clinical response. But what's exciting is that Bemer took it really, hit it out of the ballpark with their invention. Bemer has created a unique signature pattern of energy, a wave that is totally unique in itself at a tune of 1,200 stimulation peaks per second. And that is amazing. And why it's amazing, that is seemingly the window of opportunity for that wave. When it hits those regulatory mechanisms of our circulatory system awakens, it becomes in focus, it starts pumping blood, oxygen and nutrients start going in the cell, elimination of weights happen just automatically, and then the body, the giant within, the body with its infinite wisdom, you know, wakes up and said, okay, thank you. Now I can go fix whatever problem I have, because the rescue is there in every single cell from head to toe. And the beneficiary of that? We. And specifically the people who have had their health compromised. And consider how, just by laying 8 minutes twice a day. And that's absolutely fantastic. And it's so fantastic, of course, leave it to marketeers out there. They went out and they said, hey, we are like Bemer, and we are probably even better. So we got sick and tired of that. Bemer decided to sponsor an independent comparative study to the Institute of Microcirculation about a couple of years ago. And here are the findings of those studies. This is an empirical study, a scientific, not observational, empirical, with all its control and system and subject that have been measured. We compared the Bemer Classic, an old model of Bemer, against the 5 devices that say we are like Bemer. And the reason why it's important for you, the listener, to see that study in this webinar is because we know after a presentation, that's a human nature nowadays, we're going to go out there on the internet and we start consulting with Dr. Google and Dr. YouTube. But be careful of the internet. 50% of what you see is true. The other 50%, needless to say, is false and scams. So here's the science, and that's what I like about the science. Here's the objection. We measured various parameters and we published their characteristics in here. The characteristic change, as you could see on the left, the vertical axis. Bemer, you could see in here clearly, outclassed and outranked all the other devices. But what's interesting, after the third day, we decided to shut down the influence of that signal to measure the residual effect without the therapeutic signals on all the devices and on all the subject measured. And I'm here to tell you that on the third day, which is crazy, on the fourth day, our signal is still higher in characteristic changes in those parameters measured than at the highest of all the therapeutic influence of those signals. So clearly, if you understood this study and asked the person that invited you to see this, we can put a study on your hand, and clearly we outclassed and outranked all the other devices, and for reasons. So Bemer is safe to use. It's a very modern device. It has many intensity, different programs, sleep mode. But again, when I come back to it, it's a very simple device. We have received many, numerous accolades and awards, from design to engineering to scientific awards. Here's the full body, the mat. We have localized application, the B-pad and the B-sit, and you can use them where you see fit. The B-spot as well, and also the light, which is very amazing, which is skin irritation, for skin irritation, facial rejuvenation, more youthful looking, just not to make a claim. Actually, it gives you much more than that, okay? And the sleep program, oh my, the sleep program is very powerful. It is actually the program that can push you to that delta state, to those prized REM sleep hours, the most regenerative, the most corrective, the most balancing hours of our sleep. And by the way, that sleep program has one of the patents, the international patents out of the 5. And this is just, this alone, folks, it's worth every penny of that device. And speaking of penny, we're talking about a mere $5,990. Why I'm saying mere $5,990? Because I'm a healthcare professional and I know what it costs to fix a body. Whether you do it holistically, whether you do it alternatively, integratively, whether you do it traditionally, to the regular route, right? Conventional medicine, Occidental medicine, right? Allopathic medicine, that's the word I was looking for, is going to cost you. Not only cost you money, but it's going to cost you emotion, it's going to cost you time and loss of time and all that. Anybody gets sick, understand what I'm talking about. So this is very inexpensive for what it can afford your body, for the results it gives you. The price is always based on what? The value it brings to the marketplace. And here the value it brings to the human body. And it's outrageous. So, yes, I think we all need it. Certainly, humans are kind of funny based on this French philosopher statement. We spend all our first half to climb that corporate ladder, to get into that business, and so on and so forth, at the detriment of the health. And then when we make our money and we're ready to enjoy our golden years, guess what? We spend all our money chasing our health. Leave it to human, right? Now you can actually invest in a Bemer technology, in a confinement and privacy of your own home. You can certainly use the technology. So 3-year warranty, user technical hotline, headquartered locally here in Carlsbad, California. It is something really that you should get involved with in terms of buying it, and let your loved ones and yourself and your pets to enjoy that. All this information, folks, you can find it on pubmed.gov, okay? And Just type in Bemer therapy, and then you can take it from there. You can start reading and so on and so forth. And at this point, let me go ahead and pass it to my friend and my associate, Mr. George Veronis. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Yousef. I appreciate it. And I'm going to come on the screen. So hi, everybody, again. And Yousef, I guess I have controls, correct?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So again, just a quick disclaimer in the middle of all this that, you know, we are not telling people to stop using their drugs or going to doctors. We're not curing or preventing any disease. You know, Bemer is actually a substitute, just helps out with what we have. So anyway, just to finish up the presentation and give you the final notes on it, Bemer is good for everybody, but we're also having a lot of success with athletes around the world. I've been traveling the United States and over in Germany and personally introducing this to a lot of athletes and having great success. Here's one of my favorite. I grew up in tennis. I played at West Virginia. So when I read this by Boris Becker, it says, since I started using the Bemer system, I feel a significant relief of my discomfort and my general well-being has substantially improved. So, you know, I also know Roger Federer and Nadal, they've all been using the Bemer to some extent. All over Europe, you know, soccer is the big sport, or football as they call it. And as you all know, the German soccer team is one of the best clubs around. And they've been all using Bemer. And here's a picture of actually some of the guys on the team using it rapidly. Of course, it's been there for 17 years, so Europeans obviously know the word Bemer a lot more. This is one of my favorite guys, Peter Smith. I actually met with him a couple months ago. The USC tennis team won the NCAA championship in 2010. Actually, they won 4 straight years. In all 4 years, they were using the Bemer consistently, and you know, he speaks highly of the Bemer and so forth. We have a lot of athletes. There's a world skier, Mark, that he's like the Michael Jordan of the United States, and is one of our ambassadors for all sports teams with the Bemer. We have golfers all over the world, bikers. This is pretty unique, but the Ram team, that's a bike race across America, started in San Diego, ending up in Annapolis. Just met these 4 guys last week. They rode in 5 days and a few hours. I think we might even have it here. Here's 5 days and 19 hours, beating the second place team by over a day. And they were using Bemer throughout the trip. They were sleeping on the Bemers. And they really gave us a lot of good accolades and really attributed a lot of their success to the quick recovery time because of the lactic acid buildup. So, you know, again, it's for everybody. It's for 78 million baby boomers. It's for athletes. And believe it or not, it's even for pets and animals. You know, cats, dogs gravitate to that Bemer signal, and they'll stay on the mat with you. Horses is a big deal. You might have heard of Linda Tellington-Jones. She's really the horse whisperer of the world, travels over 200 days of the year all around healing and helping animals, especially horses. And she's been using Bemer for over 17 years. And you can read her quote there. She says, a very unique ability to enhance and deliver nutrients and oxygen and remove waste. We're also coming out with a brand new veterinarian system in December, and that's going to be just a tremendous new product. We're also doing a lot of studies with agriculture, you know, and we showed that if you could take Bemer and fill it up with a glass container, fill up with water, and go ahead and put on the Bemer for 2-3 minutes, and then water your plants with the Bemerized water and water it without, and your plants will grow much fuller, richer. It's pretty unique. So we're doing a lot of studies. It's also great to drink the water, changes the structure, and helps your body and the nutrients. So bottom line, and I'll end it with this, that here's what you could expect. You know, general blood flow, more nutrients and oxygen supply, better cardiac function. Big one, again, as you just said, sleep. The number 1 and 2 complaints of doctors are I lack energy and I need more sleep. Waste disposal, physical fitness, endurance, concentration, mental acuity, and reducing stress and relaxation. And I didn't end up my story, but I'll say a year after I used the Bemer, I went back a couple months ago for my echogram to see how strong my heart was. And my ejection fraction was a set 60, which a strong heart is between 55 and 70. And the doctors were actually pretty shocked. A year and a half after 8 bypasses, my heart could have been that strong. So with exercise, nutrients, and the Bemer, I had great success, and I feel great today at 6'3", 200 pounds. So anyway, you make the decision tonight. I tell people all the time in my meetings, you know, this is an investment. Yousef mentioned the price. I always like to break it down for people. It lasts over 10 years. That's like $50 a month for you and your family. So think what you spend on nutritional products, chiropractors, lost productivity when you're hurting, gyms, the whole bit. In a 10-year period, just on those items I mentioned, you spend $10,000 to $15,000. So when you take Bemer and break it down to a cup of coffee a day, and everybody in your family can enjoy it, it's probably the best value you can give to your family and enjoy the health benefits along with it. So what you want to do is get back to the person that got you on this call, and usually there's one of three decisions, right? A, you're ready to get started. You want to get phenomenal health results and start growing with Bemer. Number two, you might need more information on the science and the backing, and the people will provide you some links and some more information. Or you might be interested a little bit in our business, and we'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. This is not one of those multi-level marketing deals. It's a direct sale affiliate program. But for those that came on for the purpose of hearing about the product and wanting to learn more about Bemer, Yousef did a phenomenal job. I listen to him all the time. I get re-inspired to use my Bemer twice a day for 8 minutes. But get back to that person, and they'll provide you with the information you need. So at this point, for those that would like to stay on, I am going to go through a little bit of our business model and tell people what a phenomenal opportunity this is to share it with other people. So if you want to hang on, we'll continue on that part. But thank you for all the potential customers that joined us tonight. So for part two, I'm going to do a little bit of a marketing presentation tonight. And what I really want to share with people is that I think it's a very rare opportunity in life when you can actually find something you get extremely passionate about and have great results and share it. So as you know, I told my health story, but after about the first month using the product, I decided to share it with other people, and I saw tremendous results. And I knew we had something special here. So I started traveling the country introducing Bemer, and it's been growing ever since. But here's one of the reasons I chose. Number one is, it is a 20-year-old established company. It's completely debt-free. They were in over 40 countries. I actually took the time to go over to Germany and Liechtenstein, I should say, and evaluate the company, meet with the ownership, spend some time with Yousef and some other leaders. And, we found it to be exactly what we expected: high-end, high technology, just with, phenomenal accolades all through the last 17 years. It has massive endorsements from the PubMeds to clubs to research to the Micro Institute of Berlin. It's rather new to North America. So I always tell people, imagine this for a second. Think about this. 1 million users in Europe, 4,000 practitioners almost in every major hospital. And think of the potential when you think of North America, where it's practically unknown. From a business perspective, what can you do with Bemer? Perfect timing. I think the time is going to be good in 10 years from now. I mean, we have so much potential in this. We have a unique business model, which I'm going to show you, and awesome income potential, not only for the people that just want to refer, but anybody who wants to do this part-time or turn it into a career, as Yousef and I have done. So let me see if I can switch here. Let's see. The headquarters is in Liechtenstein. That's right outside of Germany and across from Switzerland. As I mentioned, a bunch of us went over there to really evaluate the company. The headquarters is beautiful. The country is beautiful. The ownership is the Glein family. The reason I bring this up is because we're not a public company. We're privately held. When you really understand the dynamics of this, it's all about the heart. These guys really are passing it from generation to generation. Peter Glein, the founder, has now passed it on to his two sons and his daughter that are working both the North American market, the European market, and worldwide. So we expect to be here a long time. We expect to pass it to our kids to continue doing the business. The headquarters is over 40,000 square feet. It's German engineering, Swiss craftsmanship. That's why people have these units for 10 or 15 years with no obstacles or problems. And the goal of the company when I was over there is to get a Bemer in every home. Now think about that once. That sounds like a lofty goal, but at the end of my college career, they showed me this big mainframe and they said, "You're not going to believe this, but we believe there's going to be a computer in every home one day." And we all laughed. Well, now there's a computer in every pocket. Forget about every home. So The reason I bring this up is we actually need a lot of partners. I mean, we have pockets in San Diego and Sarasota, and now my hometown in Lancaster. But the market is so humongous that we need help and we need more partners to team up with us. So again, as I said earlier, it's not one of these multi-level marketing deals. It's a direct sale with a beautiful affiliate program, and then there's management and leadership bonuses. And what's neat about Bemer is you don't have to be a sales rep. You know that I haven't called anybody in over a year about the hype of a business. I simply share the great, phenomenal product, share some results, get people to use it, and then I simply ask them if they have a passion like I did and Yousef did, would they like to share with other people and set up a plan to create a business? So sharing is the key, and I'll tell you how strong it is. This is very rare, but even the average customer will refer you to 3 to 5 people. Now, if you've ever been in any kind of sales, we all know referrals are the almost guaranteed sale. So could you imagine everybody that tries the Bemer and used it, even if they're not doing our business, they're going to refer you to 3 to 5 people. And you'll see the significance of that when you see the income. Again, there's over 1 million happy users worldwide. You're not the first one to test it. It's been proven, and we've been branded in over 42 countries. So I want you to think about this, okay, very carefully. You have a product that's unique that nobody has that competes against us, no competition. We have a marketplace, and I want you to really look at this page, 78 million baby boomers, where every single one of them, not some of them, every single one of them needs to know about Bemer. You got all the athletes, when they understand what it does to the lactic acid buildup, recovery time, and for injuries, healing a lot faster. Every athlete's a prospect. How about every animal and a lover and veterinarians? I think there's 158 million cats and dogs and horses in this country, and people have a passion to take care of their animals. How about the healthcare professionals? You know, like chiropractors, naturopathic doctors, acupuncturists, massage therapists, medical doctors. They're all interested in the health of their patients. And when they find out about Bemer, they not only want to share it with them, but they have great revenue streams. People want to make a monthly income they could charge per session. And then if they sell 3 or 4 units a month, they could potentially make $75,000 to $100,000 a year by sharing this product. So imagine that market. You can see how big it really is. So what do you earn when you share this with other people? I'm going to make it real simple. I'm not going to go into all the details on this call. I recorded a 20-minute presentation that you can learn more about the compensation. But we share anywhere from 17 to 30% on the direct sale. So you sell a Bemer for $5,900, you're going to make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,800 depending on the position you are with our company. And then when we get into the affiliate program, you make anywhere from 3 to 8% with 2 levels of affiliates. But for those that want to have a career out of this and want to get into management overrides, like the insurance companies manage an area, then we'll pay another, anywhere from 1.5% to 21% in that range of $90 to $1,260. So potentially, think about this: 3 or 4 sales a month, and if you have 2 or 3 affiliates doing 2 or 3 sales a month, that's over a 6-figure income. So I know a lot of people are looking for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I hate to use that cliche, but the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, Richard. I can't think of his last name, I would say Kawasaki, but that's the motorcycle. He said, if once in your lifetime you find that perfect opportunity where you can match up passion and economically, financially do well, that's a very rare moment. So it's easy. I encourage everybody to get along into our affiliate program. It's very simple. It's $290. And that includes our academy. Now look at this. We don't let you hanging there. When you join, we have a 2-day class. It's a Friday and Saturday, where one day we teach you all about the product and the science. The second day, all about the business. And you learn to qualify your position. You go out there and you know what you're doing, and you have great success. So we get you certified in this academy. So it's real simple. Option 1, you come in for $290 and you buy a Bemer, and you pay $59.90, and then that qualifies you to earn all commissions on sales. And if you want to build a team of affiliates, you could also do that. Your personal sale commission goes to your sponsor. Option two is, for any reason you can't come up with the money right now, you could still become a rep with us, but you have to go sell one Bemer, make one retail sale, it's a training sale while we work with you. That commission goes to your sponsor. Then thereafter, you could earn that $1,000 to $1,800 we mentioned, or start receiving overrides on a team if you would like to work the system. So in reality, we're going to make history. And if you have heart, not head, heart, and you want to really share this mission with other people, impact people's lives, understand the vast, market you have here, you could have one of three things. You could just refer people and make enough money to pay off your unit. You could do 2-4 sales a month, make anywhere potentially from 25, 30 to 75 to 100,000 a year, or you can get into a career option with us and really do this in a big way. So anyway, with that, I really appreciate your time. Again, get back to the person that got you on this call, and they'll share what they need to with you. And we'll look forward to working with you in the near future, and really enjoy the product, if nothing else, because it'll change your health forever. So, Yousef, that's what I have. I appreciate all your time, and thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And thank all the guests that came this evening. And that's,
all right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good evening. Take care, guys. Good night.